being human with you. Together we can find a way. Being human, together we can find a way. Being human, beyond belief from this day. One voice rise and we can stand.
Hello there and welcome to Being Human with You, episode 15. I'm taking a fractional risk today. In the flat beneath me, the new home that I have in Blackpool, literally a 5-minute walk from the coast, there's some work going on in the flat beneath me. I think they've got a water leak in the bathroom, and there's been some drilling going on, some chiseling going on, so there might be some very human noises in the background, shall we say. And so that's a fractional risk. That's not really particularly a risk. That's slightly tongue-in-cheek. But life is filled with risk, isn't it? We could have risk in decisions we make, risk in people we meet, risk in trust. And because life is filled with ever-changing circumstances, there is, of course, a great chance that at times that could lead to hurt, that could lead to pain. And I want to talk about the other side of that, which is talked about quite a bit. And above all else, I'd love your thoughts, which is on the subject of healing. What does it mean? What does healing actually mean? Let's begin there. And more accurately, what does it mean to you? Because there is a lot of talk about healing. I when I'm looking through social media, I don't tend to scroll a lot. I'm doing other things, but occasionally I do look through, or things just pop up on a feed. And I see a lot of spiritual practitioners. I'm not claiming to be one, by the way. I'm not even necessarily claiming to be a life coach. But there is a lot of talk about healing. And there's also a lot of talk around that talk about healing. There's a lot of toxicity. Messages like, this is one I've shared regularly, and I've experienced this personally as well, where perhaps when you talk about certain experiences you've had in life, people are critical in the fact that they say, you've got unresolved trauma. You're not over this yet. You've got more work to do. Well, I feel that is people capitalizing, tragically, on prospecting, on the pain of others. Now, we all want to provide comfort, encouragement, strength. I say all, I think the majority of us do. That's different, but I do feel there are people who are finding these pain points, and they are creating their solution towards that. Well, I'm not providing a solution. What I'm sharing is experience. Now, I'm doing that through conversation here. So again, even with perhaps questions I'm not asking, your thoughts towards healing. Have you ever had that experience where somebody has said, "Oh, you're still banging on about that"? Now, when I talk about my experience of life, am I in the same place I was, say, for example, 18 years ago? Definitely not. 100% categorically not. The message I feel within healing is this. You decide when, you decide how. It's on your terms and it's in your time. Healing must take place according to you. Now, we do well within life. There's no criticism in this. We do well to channel whatever experience we go through into something that's better for us and better for others. And I would suggest in that order. Because if we begin with ourselves in the sense of, how can I take this pain? How can I take this trauma? How can I shape it into something that works for the remainder of my life and works also for the lives of others? Because again, around trauma, tragedy, pain, loss, grief, suffering, around those experiences of being human, that's a regular occurrence. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? The sirens going by, honestly. They're not out to get me. But I hope everything's okay in that situation. Because, that tragically happens in life, doesn't it? So with these reversals, these changes, alterations that are not what we want, they're not the outcomes that we want, what can we do with those? How can we use them to benefit ourselves? Because that's the point I was going to share. In circumstances in life, there's a shared experience, of course, isn't there? I'll spell some out. Let's say it's serious health issues. Well, of course, it's not just the individual who's going through those serious health issues who's affected. Family around, friends are affected as well in their own way. What about relationship breakdown, relationship ending? Well, yes, there is, say, ourselves within that affected, and another person or other people, family, children included. Now, the thing I've found and the thing I find is that almost like there's a league table of importance. And sometimes that league table of importance is imposed. So in other words, let's say it's the person going through that critical illness. Sometimes they can be made to feel that actually they're the least important person and everybody else is more important. Well, that goes back to what I was sharing a moment ago. That's tragic, which is that other people have an agenda of wanting the person who's going through acutely, directly, the experience to get over that. Now, some of these experiences last forever. So I'm back to that thought of healing again. They never end. And I think that's a really, really important message to share, because otherwise we always feel there's a gap in us. And sometimes we're shamed into thinking we've still got work to do. We've all got work to do. We're always going to be continuing, because within the previous experiences we've had, the past, I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment, well, we're still bringing that into the present experiences that are happening. And it will continue with us into the future. I've gotten over things that I've experienced in the way that I don't feel the same about them now as I previously did. Some would call that healing, but I haven't completely got over them, and neither do I want to, and neither do I feel we should, because that's the blaming and the shaming. Whereas if we openly share what the experience was like for us, but everybody's has merit and value. If you're made to feel yours doesn't, and people just want you to get over it. I had one person said to me when I started attending big gatherings. It was part of the belief system that I was in at the time. I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I share this publicly with reason. I'm not looking to try and draw people away. People make choices, but I think those choices should always be very much informed choices. So after surgery, radiation, I was very self-conscious because of the scarring. I think at the time I couldn't wear a tie. It just felt very uncomfortable because of the throat surgery. It might sound like a small thing, but it was a big thing amongst a gathering of everybody else wearing ties, and it was the done thing to do. So this person came up to me, and there was a strong connection over years of knowing this person, and they said to me, "Feeling better now?" And I think I probably would have a different answer now, but at the time I had just had major surgery from the potentially a life-ending cancer. If I wouldn't have taken the surgery, wouldn't have taken the radiation, life would have been over. I think I was back to speaking just about at the time. Shocking, absolutely shocking. Now, it's that I feel, not just for me, but for all of us, needs to alter, needs to change. Yes, you're always going to get somebody might now say, yeah, but that's part of being human. Just takes a moment to think at times, doesn't it? This person wasn't without intelligence. I think they were without emotional intelligence in that moment and also in other moments. But it's that communication. Family at times, this is going to be controversial potentially. I think family at times feel that they have some weird divine right, some blood right, to say whatever they want. They don't. They don't. And there are consequences of things said. So that's important. But this is our life. We live it in context with others. It is important to understand differing sides. But if you're feeling that your healing is being marginalized, is being weaponized, then my encouragement is those people that are surrounding you, if that's a continual, ongoing way of being, it's not just that's out of character, that happens occasionally. We all do that. We all do that. This is a pattern. This is a characteristic. Then there's a decision to be made. Because ultimately, there's one life. There's one life. And we choose. We choose how we heal. We choose when we heal. We choose in what circumstances. We choose what we do with it. And when we get to the point where we're beginning to choose more, this is mine. This is my experience, my feeling, my healing. I'm now going to do this with this experience. When we get to that point, and there's no weaponizing, there's no victimizing, there's no destruction, we're looking to create from it. That, for me, is what healing is. But you choose. I choose. On my terms, in my own time. It cannot be prescribed. That's really, really key message to conclude with. It cannot be prescribed. We're going to outro with some music, but I also like to share a future message of what's going to be happening on this YouTube channel. There was another series, as well as the Being Human with You podcast. Past, present, future. I revisited places in my life, beginning from my place of birth. Check out previous episodes. And chronologically, I went through various places across the last few months. I then got to a point where that stopped happening as much. And the point that I got to with that was Aylesbury, where I was diagnosed with cancer, marriage breakdown, leaving the religious organisation Jehovah's Witnesses. I think there's something in this because there's a bit of a switch. And because of other things that are going on musically, creatively, book at the end of the year, the move into the flat, I feel there's a turning point. And what I think has happened is the future has arrived sooner. So rather than continuing the series, there was no plan in this. I planned to revisit places like Milton Keynes, Buckingham, here in Blackpool before I've moved back here, Warrington, Whitefield. But I want to honour the last few years because they've been, on the whole, incredible. Michelle Roach was the amazing human being who suggested I begin a series the year after my 60th birthday. I turned 60 December 29th, 2025, to do this series each month. Well, I've now reached the point where I feel primarily, but also to honour the last few years, the future's come early. The future's come sooner. So what I'm now going to do is basically begin a new series. But there is going to be a switch. But the switch is not turning on Blackpool lights. But the switch, I'm not going to go back to Aylesbury. There are other reasons around that practically. It's a long way. And at the moment, time, circumstance, financial energy, I'm not in a position to be able to do that currently. But I think I can make something out of that. So that's back to that again. This adaptive nature of being human. What I've got, you've got, definitely. This condition of being human. We can create in so many different ways and from the circumstances. So rather than going back to Aylesbury, I am going to talk about that time, but that is going to be the switch to begin Board the Future. And there is going to be a song that's going to fit with that as well. That's being worked on at the moment. Then there's going to be a series which is Board the Future. So the future's leaving now. Within that, there will always be talk about the past and the present. Always. Through to the end of the year and beyond. But the future's beginning early. That's why the past, present and future series, apart from this final switch episode, which I'll record here, and I'll share the journey of what happened 18 years ago through to where we're going next. And that episode, Emotion, will be aired on Sunday, September the 13th, 2026. And that is 13 years to the day. Not unlucky. Quite the opposite. 13 years to the day. September the 13th. It was a Friday, believe it or not. Friday the 13th of September 2013. I was given the all clear from cancer. That was 5 years after I was diagnosed in 2008. So Sunday, September the 13th, 2013, the final Past, Present and Future series will also be announcing 13 years to the day from the all clear of cancer, Board the Future. The future's leaving now. A new series. It's been amazing being with you. Remember, drop in the comments, what does healing mean to you? Whatever you're prepared to share. How have you healed from what you've experienced? The outro music is fitting for the subject of healing. I'd love your comments, your thoughts. Let's build this human experience together. And together, 100% categorically, we can find a way. Drawing particular attention to one of the songs, the second track from the album Inside of Me, available everywhere, including Bandcamp. Go there, download, listen, share all of the music that's shared. The second track, I'll Bleed in My Own Time, very much fits with our schedule of healing. It's an interesting video. If you don't like vampires, turn away now or fast forward, but it's an interesting combination, vision and sound. There'll be also other songs playing out from other albums, and I look forward to being with you in the future. Keep being the amazing human being that you are. Until next time, bye-bye.
Oh, I'll bleed. I'll say it quick, though it feels slow. I'll bleed in my own time, if you're even bothered to know. I know you're not concerned, and if you are, you hide it well. I took your sainted invitation, though it felt like faded hell. I'll bleed, oh I'll bleed in my own time. Oh, I'll bleed, I'll bleed in my own time. Don't shed a tear for me, though I doubt you ever will. You've taken comfort in familiar arms, made me feel guilty as hell. Stood judgment with no crime, accused by your own mind. Don't weep on my broken heart, I'm bleeding my own time. I'll bleed in my own time. Oh, I'll bleed. Oh yes, you know I'll bleed. I'll bleed. Oh, I'll bleed. In my own time. I'll bleed in my own time. Though I'm guilty of no crime, I'll bleed in my own time. Thank you. Thank you for creating every painful song, every pain-filled melody, and every pain-filled rhyme. Thank you. But I'll bleed on my own time. Yes, I'll keep bleeding. Sweet, sweet song, every pain-fueled melody, and every pain-filled rhyme. Let your light shine. Wander down the narrow lanes that lay across the pathway of my innocence. Loyalty had shaped the younger me, but dawn is now closing on the year of defense. How can you gather the pieces of yourself once fractured? How can you heal a soul schism, move your mind? Truth's never really hard to find. From prison to eternity prison. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. People alienated one from the other. It's all a division tactic. If we return back to origin, being human, find ways to work together. That's what we're here for, not to destroy, but to create.